To those of you who don't know me, because the older you get, the more experienced you become and the more exposed you become to other aspects of life. So, like how productive is listening to music for me? So, I can actually listen to podcasts instead of just music. I can actually get value for my time. Put the pillow on my head and just like screaming into the pillow. There are days where I'm so excited, I'm so pumped, everything is going as planned. The hate against recruiters and HRs or people working in the taxation industry is so much. At first, I thought, how hard can it be? Reach out to clients who wants to hire, then they say yes, you sign contract, then you go to LinkedIn, post your job, 100 people apply. The only stressful thing there is like shuffling through the best CVs trying to find the fit. And we don't have the credibility, we don't have the audience, we don't have the pipeline, we don't have the structure, we don't have the system to actually do this. It was like having a hole in your boat, trying to cover the hole with your hand and still rowing the boat with another hand. It's kind of like that bad. One thing I've always appreciated about my life is that I have a lot of experiences. I have a lot of stories, but when they are happening in the moment, it is very awful. It's painful. And I'm grateful that I have friends that I can actually count on, friends I can actually talk to, friends that help me hang on. How long does it take you to actually make a video? It's not that long. Why don't you just do it? That is how I've decided to. Hello and welcome to University Life Podcast. My name is Emerald Olaoye and this is University Life Podcast. You might have noticed that out of the blues, Emerald stopped posting and could not see anything for almost 7 months. I just stopped posting and it was like, what is wrong with Emerald? We cannot find University Life Podcast again. So, to those of you who don't know me, my name is Emerald Olaj, and I am the host of University Life Podcast. And yeah, the podcast name can sound University Life Podcast because people that know me know I graduated from school last year. And it is going to now look like, okay, Emerald, because that was what we were discussing during the last episode because of rebranding and the old stuff that was involved back then before life nudged me in another direction. We had this discussion of what is this podcast going to be like after you are done with school? Are you still going to continue or you're going to transfer the podcast to somebody else or that is the end of your Life podcast? But the the whole idea of University Life podcasts is not actually referring to school alone. Personally, I believe that we are all students of life and we might not really graduate from life. We just move from the lower class into a higher class because the older you get, the more experienced you become and the more exposed you become to other aspects of life. So this podcast is actually supposed to cover the transition. Most of you don't know, but before I got admission into university, I spent a lot of years. I spent closely 5 years looking for admission, and it was during that time that I developed the love for podcasts because I just wanted to, I just wanted to kill time. So I love to listen to music. Then I realized that listening to music is nice, but how productive is it? Like how productive is listening to music for me? So I decided to go into like, okay, podcast actually teaches you some things. So I can actually listen to podcasts instead of just music. So I can actually get value for my time. That is how I got into podcast and I was hooked. And when I got to school, I was like, wow, this is an avenue for me to actually start something like this. My under level, I decided to like start a podcast, and I was so camera shy. I was so scared. I even hated my voice. I hated my voice so much that I do not send voice notes to people. I would always type, they might respond with voice notes, but I would not reply with a voice note. I only prefer to call because at least while calling, I don't get to listen to my own voice back. So, and I know that once we are done with that call, that person has ended the conversation. So, nobody's replaying my voice anymore. So, I struggled with being inferior because of my voice, because of my handsomeness. Or I never really admitted that I was handsome back then. So, didn't like my voice. I wanted to start a podcast. I didn't like the way I looked, and I wanted to start a podcast. So it was like, Emerald, what exactly do you want? So at first, I had to go through the unlearning that my voice sounds bad. And I'm very grateful for a very good friend of mine. She always told me that she loves my voice, and my voice is soothing, my voice is nice, my voice is calm, my voice is confident. I feel confident when I talk. So I was like, all right, I've had people tell me that my voice is nice. So why is it that I am the only one that doesn't believe that my voice is nice? So I was just like, fuck it, everybody. fuck, fuck feeling this way. So I jumped into it and I started creating. At first, I started with audio podcast. Then I moved on. At first, I started with audio podcast. The first day I recorded my audio podcast, it was like I was going to die. I literally waited till around 2 a.m. when everybody was asleep and nobody was listening, and I decided to record at that time. I recorded a 1 minute video. I recorded a 1 minute podcast. Yeah, I think yeah. If you scroll to the end of my podcast, or if you scroll to the end of this podcast, like episode one, not the introductory episode for Invest Life podcast. That was the first episode I ever recorded. That was the first episode I ever recorded introducing the podcast, and I was so scared, but I did it. Then I told a few friends about it. They said it was a very bad idea that nobody's going to listen. So then I dropped it again for months. I was not doing anything until I got the word, I got my confidence back, got my confidence back, and I told myself, I actually want to do this. So I got into it and I reached out to guests. I have spoken with a lot of people. I've spoken with the co-founder of TechCrush. I've spoken with James William. Gabriel, yeah. I've spoken with Victoria Olamide. I've spoken with Simi King. I've spoken with God's Delight. From there, I gained my confidence in speaking. Then I gained my confidence in moving to cameras, and that was it. If anybody would ask me, I would say this podcast has actually given me the opportunity to learn from my insecurities, to learn how to handle my insecurities. I was so scared that I couldn't record voice notes. Then I went into podcasting and I saw that I love my voice. And I just started from there. And the thing is, a lot of people might not agree with this, and a lot of people might say, no, this is not what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to listen to anybody. You're not supposed to do this one, or that one. But the thing is, we cannot deny the fact that we need people who believe in us. And it actually goes a long way in taking that first step. Because if you cannot believe in yourself, or if you believe in yourself and you feel like that is not enough for you to actually take that first step, then you need to find someone that will believe in you. Over the years, I've gotten so confident that I have started things. During my last paper, I got this idea to start a recruitment agency. I started working on it, and during my last paper, then my final paper, we started the idea and created Tavra Recruitment Agency, which is so funny. Which is so funny because the whole idea started from helping students get workforce experience, like introducing students into the workforce. So that was the big idea. And over as we started going on into it, because we literally have no, like, I am a student of geography and planning science. I have no experience being an HR. I have no experience being a recruiter. All I knew how to do was generate leads. So we started from there and reached out to businesses, and everybody said, okay, this is how, but we didn't have the credibility. We did not have the credibility. We were non-existent. So we said, all right, let us get the industry experience first. After getting the industry experience, then can I go back to our roots? I don't know. People with more resources. Like, guys, I'm a student. I just like finished I just signed out. Yeah. So we said, okay, let's get the industry experience first. Then can I go back to our initial idea? So I think that is where we are now, getting the industry experience. For what it is worth, it has been a roller coaster. It has been like, there are days I want to like just put this put the pillow on my head and just like screaming into the pillow. There are days where I'm so excited, I'm so pumped, like everything is going as planned. And there are days, you know, a lot of people hate recruiters, but people don't really realize what recruiters do, what recruiters face behind the scene. Because, well, a recruiter makes a mistake sending an email and it is trending on Twitter. A recruiter asks a question and it is trending. Like everybody just seem like the 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 hate against recruiters and HRs or people working in the taxation industry is so much that people don't actually understand or see the work that is being done behind the scene, which is like so hectic. It's so hectic. At first I thought, how hard can it be? How hard can it be? Start a recruitment agency, then do reach out to clients who wants to hire, then they say yes, you sign contract, then you go to LinkedIn, post your job, 100 people apply. The only stressful thing there is like shuffling through the best CVs trying to find the best fit. Well, it's not that easy. It is definitely not that easy because as a recruiter, at first you have to chase the client. After the client says yes, then you have to start chasing the candidate because we literally are non-existent and we don't have the credibility, we don't have the audience, we don't have the pipeline, we don't have the structure, we don't have the system to actually do these things stress-free. So it's it was like having a hole in your boat, trying to cover the hole with your hand and still rowing the boat with another hand. It's kind of like that bad. But honestly speaking, I would not leave this experience for anything. That is one thing I've really appreciated about my life. This is kind of like this episode is kind of like looking like tell me about yourself episode. One thing I've always appreciated about my life is that I have a lot of experiences. I have a lot of stories, but when they are happening in the moment and when I'm living in that present, it is very awful. It is painful. It is very terrible. And sometimes I'm grateful that I'm grateful that I have friends that I can actually count on, friends I can actually talk to, friends that help me hang on. I really much appreciate those people in my life. So from there, I have a lot of stories, and it is like, well, this is going to be another story. So recruitment, we started recruitment. Then last week, Spotify rolled out a new feature on the creator app. So I got the email and then I decided to check. And I can see that people are actually still listening to this podcast. Then it hits me that, Emerald, we know that we are going through a particular phase of life where we might not be able to handle a lot of things together at once. But how long does it take you to actually make a video? It's not that long. Why don't you just do it? So that is how I've decided to actually start doing most of the things I do back. So that is why you're here with me, and that is why I'm here recording this video. I know this video might not get any views. So I'm not even anticipating that this video is going to be watched. I just want to do it to prove to myself that I can, and I think that is why I've done most of the things that I have done, to prove to myself that I can do it, and I have tried it. I've seen that it's possible, and I just have to like keep on going and just keep on doing it. So my advice to you is, firstly, if you are watching this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Yeah, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Subscribe to wherever you're listening to. Just follow Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. And the second thing is just start. Like, jump and your wings are going to grow before you hit the ground. Kind of like sounds like a bad advice, but you really don't have much at stake. Yeah, at this stage, yeah, you really don't have much at stake. I know people that have a lot at stake, but if you're watching this and you feel like you don't have much at stake, I think it is worth the risk. Do the work. Just put yourself out there. Nobody is really judging anybody anymore, because now we've gotten to realize that okay, this is like next level kind of work, and not joining or not doing your own work is like okay, I'm being left behind. So I don't think anybody is really judging anybody anymore. So don't feel like anybody's judging you or anybody's condemning you. You just start and you see that they're going to they're going to join you and they're going to start rooting for you. That is my advice for you. If you're watching this video, I would be releasing another episode soon. I don't know how soon, but I'm definitely going to be releasing another episode because I want to start doing what I do back, because for what it is worth, I kind of enjoy doing this and I've actually listed it, and for I didn't even have any script. I just decided to okay, Emerald, bring out your setup, and I just started talking, and yeah, we are. I'm rooting for you, really. I really am rooting for you. And whatever is in your mind to start, just like go ahead and start it. You never know. You never know. So until the next time you see my video, listen to me. My name is Emerald Larry, and